Warning, if you're chicken shit, don't watch this video. What's up guys, Amber Smiles Jones here for a very fun and creepy special Halloween edition.
Urban Legends.
We've all heard so many different scary stories and instances of things that could happen that may have been or may have not been exaggerated over time. So I chose 10 of the creepiest urban legends that I could think of that went from fiction to fact.
Check the toilet.
Now I'm sure that many of you may have heard of the urban legend that rats and snakes can get into your toilet. Now I always thought it was a myth that mothers told their sons in order to keep the toilet lids down. Now, as we ladies know, that is an extremely terrifying wet nightmare to sit on the toilet when the lid is up. It's horrible. However, the reasoning for the legend may be false, but the legend itself is true. Now, what a lot of people may not know is that rats are very flexible creatures that can fit into extremely small, tiny spaces. Plumbing pipes only hold water in the traps, which means that those rats don't have to hold their breath for very long. Believe it or not, in larger cities where they do have rat infestation problems, it has been recorded that people have found rats on the very top floors of large apartment buildings and hotels. I'd watch where I was sitting if I were you.
Killer Police.
Being of the African American descent, I'm not a huge fan of police, but this urban legend is actually about a man who got dressed up as a police officer and he would knock on your door. Once you let him in, he would chop you up into little pieces. In 1974, this actually happened to someone. A woman named Carol Durange got a knock on the door of a policeman. He said that someone tried to break into her car. Once she went outside with him, she realized something wasn't right when he tried to handcuff her. But don't worry, she actually escaped. And you'll never guess who the officer was. The infamous Ted Bundy. This woman escaped the grasps of Ted Bundy. She is like the luckiest woman on the face of the earth. She is definitely the woman with the luckiest, largest, most useful rabbit's foot of all time.
Settled in.
You know how sometimes you're laying in bed and you're comfortable, you hear strange, unexplained noises in your house, creaking or rustling, and you talk yourself into thinking, maybe it's just the house settling in, or maybe it's all in my head. It felt like maybe somebody was watching you. Well, this urban legend will definitely change your way of thinking the next time you hear an unexplained noise when you're home alone. A family of 4 had just lost their mother in a tragic accident, so they were looking to start a new chapter in a smaller town. Shortly after they moved to the smaller town, one of the daughters met a boy. The boy asked her out, they went on a date, and he became very aggressive, very angry. Fearing for her life, she broke it off with him. Of course, he had different plans. Shortly after that, she heard incessant scratching and banging throughout the house, and sometimes her belongings would just disappear. She told her father what was going on, but he assumed it was something due to her mourning for her mother's death. It became so fearful that the children refused to stay in the house when their father wasn't there. If he left, they would stay out of the house until he returned. This continued until the young lady found the boy standing in her closet in her dead mother's wedding dress, holding a hatchet. She ran out of the house screaming, and she was unharmed. When the police came to investigate, there was no evidence that the boy had ever been in their house. It wasn't until one of the officers went into the basement and he saw that the washing machine was in a very weird place. He asked for backup and the officers moved the washing machine away from the wall, and there was the boy hiding in a cubbyhole. They later found out that he snuck into the house one night through an open window in the basement, and he made a little cubbyhole where he stayed and kept some of her personal belongings. Later on in the investigation, after they took his prints, they realized he was actually wanted for the murder of another family not too far down the road.
Don't drink the water.
This urban legend is about turning on your faucet and seeing a brownish, dark, liquidy nastiness coming out of the spout. Turns out, it was the liquidy remains of a dead body. This actually happened back in 2013 at the Hotel Cecil in Los Angeles, California. They discovered a liquefying dead body in one of their water tanks that distributed the water throughout the entire building. It was the body of a Canadian student, and till this day, no one knows how he got there.
Yo, that is gross as fuck.
Hotel hell.
This is an urban legend about a couple that checks into a hotel room only to find that the bed is lumpy and the room smells horribly foul. So they call down to the front desk to complain. The maids come up to clean the room from head to toe. The couple comes back in and the smell is still there. So the couple just tears apart the room trying to figure out what is the source of that smell. When they lift up the mattress and there they see a dead body hidden in the bed springs of their mattress. This actually happened in 2010 in Memphis, Tennessee, where a mother of 5, Sunny Millbrook, was actually found in the bed springs in room 222 at the Budget Inn Motel. Her body had been in that bed for 2 months, and they checked that room out 5 times in that 2-month frame. Turns out, hotel beds are kind of a popular place to dispose of bodies. So be careful where you lay.
The real life Boogeyman.
As a child, we all asked our parents to check under the bed and in the closet for the boogeyman. Little did we know, the boogeyman was real, and his name was Albert Fish. Albert Fish was a serial killer, child rapist, and cannibal in the early 1900s in New York. He was known as the original boogeyman. He would sleep into your room at night while your parents were sleeping, and he would kidnap you, torture you until you died. Then, he would remove their flesh, cook it, and eat it. It was believed that he killed over 100 people, and none of those people reached their teenage years. He's definitely what I would consider the real boogeyman.
Elevator amputation.
Have you ever put your hand or perhaps your foot in the elevator door to keep it from closing? Well, there are a lot of people who would never do that from fear that they could lose an extremity. In 2003, a man tried to enter the elevator but was too slow and was caught in the elevator doors. Instead of the doors reopening like they're supposed to, they stayed shut tightly against his body. And slowly, the elevator began to descend. His head was ripped off and remained in the elevator while his body stayed behind, 1 floor above. The elevator malfunctioned due to a wiring issue. Man, maybe it really is healthy to take the stairs.
The call from within the house.
Well, we've all heard that urban legend when a woman is in her home by herself and her phone rings and the call is coming from within the house. Well, in July 2014, this actually happened not too long ago. She actually experienced this urban legend in real life. A young girl received a text message from a kid named Kyle Ravenscroft. He texted her saying that he was watching her from a window outside her house. Of course, she ignored this, taking it as a very lame attempt to a prank. Later on, she gets a message sent to her phone that says, "I'm under your bed." She still ignored it, assuming it was just another prank. It wasn't until later, when she was in her bedroom alone, she felt the uneasy feeling that she was being watched. So naturally, she searched through her closet, didn't see anything, and it wasn't until she saw that the shoe boxes under her bed were organized in a very strange fashion. She looked under the bed, and there was Kyle waiting under her bed. Believe it or not, There have been hundreds of cases just like this one, and some ended up deadly. You know, maybe we should all check under our beds before the end of the night.
Brain bugs.
This urban legend is creepy as fuck. I need a second before I, oh God. This legend is about a woman who goes to sleep and she wakes up in excruciating pain because there's a bug in her ear canal. In 2013, a woman named Michelle Harris went on a vacation in Peru. She heard these strange scratching noises going on inside her head. Now she finally went to the doctor when a fly flew out of her ear. It was there she learned there was a family of 8 flesh-eating maggots burrowed in her ear canal. Shit.
Shit. The backseat killer.
Now, we've all heard different versions of this urban legend. There's the one where the woman is driving down a dark highway and there's another car going the opposite direction, flashing their lights because they're trying to tell her that there is a serial killer in her back seat. Then there's the one when the woman goes to the gas station, and when she leaves, the gas station attendant is trying to get her attention because he just saw on the news that there was a prisoner who escaped and he was actually in the back seat of her car waiting for her. However, this urban legend is no longer just a legend. In Chicago 2013, a woman was shopping while a man snuck into the back seat of her minivan. When she returned and pulled off, he emerged from the back seat, assaulted her, and forced her to pull into an ATM so that he can get her cash. I know, after hearing this urban legend for the first time, back when I had a car, I would always check the back seat of my car, and I always locked my doors no matter how long that I was going to be away from my vehicle. Because you never know. What's up, guys? Amber Smiles Jones here. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed my special Halloween edition.
Urban legends.
If you enjoyed my video, make sure you click that sexy thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel to be notified on my videos that I will be posting weekly. Thanks again. See you guys next time. And be careful. There's a lot of crazy ass shit going on out there.